On a sun-bleached stretch of road in the middle of nowhere, dust rose in swirls behind a lone car. The couple inside hadn't seen another soul for miles. Then, out of the corner of her eye, the wife spotted something, a small, trembling figure pressed against the roadside brush. "Pull over," she urged, her voice tight with concern. As they stepped out, they saw her, a thin dog, ribs pressing visibly against her matted coat, her eyes wide with fear, but desperate for something they couldn't yet name. The husband, Russell, crouched low, his hands outstretched, speaking softly. "Hey girl, it's okay. You're safe now." The dog hesitated for only a moment before bounding toward him, her tail wagging frantically. She covered his face in wet, frantic licks, as if she'd been waiting her whole life for this exact moment. Russell's arms closed around her, pulling her close. She trembled but didn't pull away. "She's coming with us," he said with quiet certainty, his voice thick. "Unless we find her home." The dog looked up at him, her brown eyes brimming with trust. It was as if she already knew she was no longer alone. They drove to the nearest town, stopping first at a pet store. The dog devoured the food they bought as if she hadn't eaten in weeks. Then they visited a vet, hoping for a microchip or some sign of a previous home. There was none. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they brought her home. They named her Roy. At first she was timid, retreating to a quiet corner of the house. But by the second day, Roy's shyness melted away. She followed Russell everywhere, into the yard, to the shed, even to the mailbox. Every morning the two would head out together, Russell talking to her as if she could understand every word. Their bond grew unshakable. Where Russell went, Roy followed, her tail wagging with a joy so pure it was contagious. The wife often found herself smiling as she watched them. Russell, who'd always carried a quiet loneliness, now radiated a happiness she hadn't seen in years. Roy had been lost, abandoned, and starving on that roadside. But in the arms of the man who knelt for her, she found not just a home, but a soulmate. And so, the once abandoned dog and the man who stopped for her became each other's greatest gift. The rest, as they say, was history. If you liked the video, put like and subscribe to the channel, where you will find a lot of interesting things.